Hardly a week goes by where we don't hear a rumor about some Konami IP being resurrected for the modern era, only to find out that it's just another anniversary collection, half-ass mobile port or casino game. Meanwhile, the Castlevania anime series is a huge hit on Netflix, a testament to the strength of their IP. Meanwhile, we're experiencing a renaissance of excellent remakes from the Resident Evil, Final Fantasy, and even the Call of Duty franchises. The following is our list of the top franchises and titles we'd like to see Konami follow suit with. Let's start with an obvious one. The Castlevania DS games, Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, and Order of Ecclesia are like a holy trinity of Egomania perfection, and to this day have not been properly released anywhere outside of maybe a weird mobile version of the first title. All you really have to do here is bundle all three titles together in one collection, give the visuals a little tune-up, translate some of the more novel DS stylus controls to Xbox and PlayStation controllers, maybe send Igarashi a check and a handwritten apology, and you're off to the races. Maybe add in a remix mode where you can swap characters between games, and you'd get $60 out of your old pal Jeremy, no questions asked. It's great that we're getting what looks like a proper Tony Hawk remake this year, but in the absence of a Skate sequel and to provide some friendly competition, it's only natural that Konami should bring back their most bitchin' rival, Skate or Die. Did you know that Criterion Games, the developers behind the Burnout series, were at one point in the early 2000s at least a year into development on a remake or sequel to Skate or Die? Imagine if Konami were to pick up where they left off and bring this OG counterculture skate series back to life. I think most people liked Red Dead Redemption 2 for the story and the world building and all that, but there were certainly parts of it that at least a few of us found tedious. What if there were a more arcadey, action-oriented Western game with slightly looser physics and a lighter tone? Something like Sunset Riders. And maybe you keep the Deadeye mechanic like Red Dead and Gun had, only you're also playing as a bandito wearing a giant pink sombrero with a matching poncho and dual-wielding sawed-off shotguns. Make it a third-person action shooter, keep the 4-player co-op, kinda like a Wild West Borderlands if you will. If we can have a half a dozen samurai games and 57 Space Marine games, I think we can make room for just one more proper Western, can't we? The first two Suikoden titles are two of the best RPG games of all time in my opinion, but were so rare to see upon release and so watered down over time by just okay sequels that the series never really got a chance to maximize its potential. But just imagine the possibilities of remaking these incredible games in the style of Final Fantasy VII Remake with all the requisite polish necessary to bring the story of the 108 Stars of Destiny to modern audiences. Lethal Enforcers is a game where you play as a trigger-happy cop that shoots first and asks questions later. And you know what? Now that I hear myself saying it out loud, maybe this is not the best one for PR right now, Konami. Forget I said anything. Okay, so Zombies Ate My Neighbors was technically developed by LucasArts and published by Konami, but at this point, I don't care who reboots it as long as someone does. This game isn't even on the Virtual Console, which is basically a crime against one of the most fun co-op shooters of the SNES eras. 90s gamers remember this game for its extremely varied weapons and enemies, its fun B-movie vibe, and its unique day-night cycle mechanic. Make it like Dead Rising, but with a greater enemy variety and a lighthearted Sunset Overdrive vibe, and resurrect the zombie, would ya? So, Contra Road Corps was really not good, I get that. But it doesn't have to be the end for this franchise. When you really stop to think about it, the original Contra games were basically parodying action movie tropes from Predator, Terminator, and Aliens, so why not lean back into that and go the Far Cry Blood Dragon route? Make it over the top, make it first person, give us a full auto alien blasting jungle shooter with big dub 90s action. Bomberman in VR. Picture this. You're running around a maze. You drop a bomb behind you. You turn the corner, and there's another bomb waiting for you seconds away from detonating. You use your boot power-up to kick it down the aisle just in time. You hear a distant scream of a fellow Bomberman getting blown all to hell. Your proximity tracker's beeping like crazy. You turn left, there's a bomb. You turn right, bomb 2. Bomb 3 comes sailing over your head, blocking your escape. You hug your knees, you kiss your ass goodbye. Bomberman in VR. The Adventures of Bayou Billy is a Soulsborne game. Think about it. You're a bootleg Crocodile Dundee Tiger King sort of fella. You're hunting a serial killer, true detective style, tangling with alligators and mutants in the swamp, witches and zombies on Bourbon Street, and voodoo demons in the underworld. You give it a roguelike element where success seems unlikely unless you're able to get good, with deepening mysteries that unfold as you proceed. It'd be about the most unique angle you could possibly take on this style of gameplay and resurrects a classic franchise in the process. Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3. These games are practically perfect. Great atmosphere, killer music and sound design, unforgettable stories, just a beloved franchise. If we're not going to get PT or Silent Hills, just please, for the love of God, give these three titles the same treatment Capcom gave to Resident Evil 2 and 3 Remake. Now, there have been rumors about the series swirling for months now, and for a reason. That's because people are hungry for the triumphant return of this series. I get that Konami sees more of a future in slot machines and pachinko as far as this franchise is concerned, but people can't go to casinos right now, so, probably a good time to refocus on home entertainment, no? Now this is the one that I think you've all been waiting for, Metal Gear 1, 2, and 3. I honestly don't know how this could happen without Kojima, but it isn't as if they haven't already remastered Metal Gear Solid before. This is such an important series in the pantheon of gaming, and one that younger gamers have likely only experienced through the lens of Metal Gear Solid 5, which I loved, but not everyone did, and which had some weirdness to it toward the end due to conflicts between Konami and Kojima. Those first 3 games, however, are the real deal, and just imagine what the team that created those could do with modern technology, both in terms of visuals and gameplay. Of all the franchises that are likely to get remastered, this one is probably high on the list. I just hope that everyone involved could see through to giving this the proper respect of a full remake rather than the old Onimusha Warlords treatment, you know what I'm saying? So what do you think? Would you play any or all of these remakes if Konami released them on the PS5 or the Xbox Series X? Are there any titles you'd rather see them focus on, like Snatcher, Gradius, Boktai, or even Rumble Roses? Let me know your ideas for how you'd remake some of your favorite Konami franchises in the comments below, and for all things remade, keep it locked to IGN.